Bienvenido, damas y caballeros. Welcome back to Freeform Radio on that Freeform Network. Remember to follow us on Facebook and X at Freeform Network. Send in those questions and suggestions, ffnquestions at gmail.com. But again, for Freeform Radio, my name is Daniel. With me today is Andy.
It's all good, Andy. I want to thank you guys for joining us, and it's good to be back.
And we have Noel.
Hey everybody, thank you for joining us again and feeling good today. Got my coffee ready to go, so let's rock and roll.
Nice. Good to hear. Good to hear, man. Yes, I'm here. Beautiful day today. Weather not too cold, not too hot. AC is still going because, we want to just keep it cool in the house. But yeah, hopefully everybody's doing okay out there. And let's jump into this, man. Let's jump into Andy, man. Let's talk about you and your Orlando vacation. You just came back. We're on a slightly different recording schedule. We delayed it because without Andy, it's not a podcast, but Andy's back. Fill us in on your vacation, man.
So yeah, we haven't really. We were due for a vacation. Um, the kid's gonna be his birthday's coming up, and since he's been born, we haven't gone on a vacation. And since he's getting to an age where he's a little bit he's a toddler, right? And
He's up
he's doing
four.
he's gonna be 4, yeah.
It's gonna be four. Okay.
And yeah, he's 4, and so we were due for a vacation, needless to say. But we went. My wife talked to us. We got invited. A friend of hers has a timeshare in Orlando, and she's like, "Yeah, let's do it." And she asked, like, "What do you think?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." So the biggest hurdle was, should we fly down there or drive? And I was like, I'm gonna drive. I don't want to deal with my kid's nonsense on a plane. I think he still can't tolerate it. So we drove down there, and it's about a 16-hour drive from Chicagoland down to Orlando. So we drove down there. We did a halfway. The first leg we stopped in Macon, Georgia. And needless to say, with the 250th birthday of America coming up, driving through the South was pretty nice, man. Indiana's Indiana, and we could talk about that later. But I've been to Indiana many a times, and I've driven through Indiana. It's what you expect, a lot of flat land. But once you get into Kentucky and Tennessee, the landscape changes a lot. It's beautiful. There's mountains. It's lush green everywhere you see, even down to once you get past the big cities. Even Georgia had some nice things to see, and a lot of stops. And there's a couple things I wanted to try, but the drive down there, needless to say, I think it was worth it, especially when you're those old road trips that Americans do, because thanks to the interstate system. I was explaining to my wife about the interstate system of this country, and she had no idea. Like, what? Like, it was after the war and cars and shit. Like, to get you anywhere in this country, you just jump on the interstate. But anyways, yeah. So we drove down there. We got to Florida, and then got there in the afternoon. We were driving to Orlando. Florida's nice too, man. I'm gonna just say this: every day we were there, except the last day, the day we left, it was 90s and humid and rain. It rained every freaking day, but it wasn't like Midwest rain. Like, it would rain maybe a half hour, an hour tops, and the sun would come right out and just get even more hot. Have you guys driven through or been to Florida at all?
I was in Florida, man, it's got to be 20 years ago, maybe almost. At least 18. It was definitely before Junior was born. Went down there for a family thing my wife was dealing with and went down there. But yeah, man, I concur, man. It was hot and humid when we went. I think I went around the 4th of July time period, somewhere around there. So it was pretty steamy and hot every day. You would leave the air conditioning and it would just hit you in the face. But yeah, yeah, I've never driven down there. I flew down there.
Yeah, Atlanta, it's a ton of traffic once you hit Atlanta, man. I was reading uh Reddit stuff and TripAdvisor and even the AI is like there's gonna be a lot of traffic. Try to avoid it during rush hour, and we did. It was still a ton of traffic. Um, but once you get past that, Louisville was huge. Nashville was huge. Once you start seeing those places, it's just like any major urban center. But once you get out of it, yeah. Um, we
Driving
got
through the interstate, did you stop by these cities or did you pass by them on the highway?
we stopped. We didn't stop in Atlanta. We stopped in Macon. It's like a suburb of Atlanta. We stopped in Nashville. We spent the night in Nashville. Um, but we didn't stop in her because I wanted to get there ASAP. So, but no, yeah, once we got to Orlando, we stayed at the resort, the timeshare resort, which was impeccable. It was beautiful too. They had pools everywhere. Um, they had a golf course. They had stuff for the kids, stuff for you. And I think Noel would be proud of me. I was doing my regiment of I'm working out or not working out. I'm running. They did have gyms down there at the resort, so I used them. I was down there for 5 days. I used them 3 out of the 5 days.
Nice, dude. There you go.
Believe me, dude, I was up like it's an hour ahead of us. So I found out what time they open, and I was there like as soon as they opened. It was a sea of people on vacation, lifting and running and doing what they do. Um, uh, but yeah, I mean, it's Florida's great. We didn't do none of the big parks. We did do. We wanted to go to the beach. We did some shopping. We went to Coco. So the big thing down there when my wife was like, Andy wants to go to the beach. He watches all these YouTube kids on the beach, and then he's just like, I want to go to the beach. So we're going to the beach, and the big where we're staying at in Kissimmee was do we go to Cocoa Beach where was about an hour away, or Clearwater, in which I heard Clearwater was beautiful. And I had to put my 2 cents in. I'm like, I want to go to Cocoa Beach because that's the Atlantic Ocean. And or Space Coast when you get there. So we went there and it was great, man. And then I told my wife I could say I've been both in the Pacific and Atlantic. So I got something off my bucket list. I swam in both oceans. Andy was at the beach. He loved it. Um, and then the
How
next,
was the water?
there was people surfing there. It's just like in California and Hawaii. There's people surfing. Yeah, it was a lot of surf. I thought it was gonna be colder. It was actually the day we went, it was like 94. The water was perfect. It
Really? Okay.
wasn't. I thought it might be cold. Like I've been to the on the Pacific side, and I thought the water it wasn't cold, but it wasn't warm. Like when you go to the lake, like Michigan, that thing's freezing, right?
Right, right.
It's freaking freezing no matter how hot it is. You have to find certain spots to warm up in the water. But yeah, Andy had a hell of a time. I think out of
Eh,
everything, he enjoyed the beach out of everything we did. We went to the Legoland Peppa Pig thing. I think Andy's still a little too young for the park. He liked the Peppa Pig, but he could see that day was humid, man. I think it was one of the hottest days, and my wife was just like, "This is nuts." I was sweating my ass off with Andy, and it was cool. It was pricey. They charge you for parking for what it's worth. I did notice a lot of people's like, be careful. A lot of these places charge for parking now, which they didn't do in the past, but they do. Um, and then I went to Hogan's Beach Shop. My kid was like, I'll wait in the car. I'm like, let's take a picture and then let's go inside. He did a lap. He's like, all right, there's no toys here. I'm gonna wait in the dad, give me your phone. And I'll wait in the car. My wife had to go with him and wait while I was in awe for like 10 minutes. And then I'm like, what do I buy? And I did talk to the lady down there. She says they get busier towards the end of the week. 'Cause I think we went like on a Thursday. She goes Friday, Saturday, a lot of people come in. And there was a lot of people coming in, which was funny, was they come in, take a bunch of pictures and buy, I noticed they would just buy like shot glasses or a magnet and then they would leave. Um, but yeah, that was cool. And then we went to the only Disney thing we did was go to Disney Springs. I don't know if you heard that. It's basically their outside mall. They had every freaking brand selling stuff there that you can find. Um, and they all had Disney crap, and I'm gonna go on, oh man, it was fucking expensive there. We didn't really buy. I think we bought ice cream for Andy, and that was it. It was crazy expensive.
Yeah, I bet you that it's expensive everywhere, man. And I I would imagine that's why the gift shop people just buy shot glasses because it's probably like the cheapest thing in the store. Everything else is
The
probably like
shot glasses. What do you
30s.
think? What do you think at a Hogan beach shop then a shot glass would be? What's
I
your
don't
price
know.
point?
I don't
Even
know.
I was like, damn.
I wouldn't buy a shot glass. So
What would you buy? A shirt? What do you think a shirt's there?
shirt's probably like $35.
It was
T-shirt.
under 30. It was under
Yeah.
30. It was like 26.
Yeah.
So the shot glasses were 12.
Yeah, no, I would assume that's why somebody buys if you're gonna buy anything, the cheapest thing is a sticker magnet or a shot
I think the
glass.
magnets were $7 or $8, but they had 3D magnets, that they printed on. Those were
The
like,
hologram ones. Oh,
yeah,
the
those were
like
a little pricier.
okay, okay. Yeah, I've shopped their store on shop.com because they affiliated with them and they have it there. And yeah, there's some pricey stuff, even hats and things that you would expect that you can get for like 10, 15 bucks. No, no way, man. You're gonna pay a good price. Um, but yeah, yeah, I've been wanting to go to that store, and if I'm ever in the neighborhood, definitely have to stop by. But yeah, that sounds cool.
He has
F
multiple stores. Yeah, the one in Orlando is the one I went to. I think he has the one in Clearwater, which was like where we're at. It's about a 2 hour drive.
right.
But it was nice. We all had a good time. The drive back, we got caught up in some rain and traffic, and then and it was yeah, we stayed an extra day, and then we drove back, and we spent the night in Nashville, and it was okay. We spent on this hill. It was a Hyatt, which was kind of strange. Even those places charge for the hotels charge for parking too, which I found very weird. Um, and we got a decent price at the hotel, and then we stopped. So what I noticed, there was a lot of food wise. We ate at a breakfast place, which wasn't too bad. But one thing I didn't get around to doing, I did see. I wanted to try the crystals, like they're White Castles down there. They're
Oh,
everywhere,
I
and
never heard of that.
you never heard of them? Yeah, they're big in
Mm,
the South. That's their White Castle equivalent, I guess. And
okay.
then the other place was Zaxby's. It's like chicken tender thing, which is pretty huge down there. And we did hit a barbecue joint uh, uh, in Georgia, um, which was their brisket. I had some of their brisket. It was pretty good. Um, and there was a lot of try to hit some local things, but that was pretty much about food wise. We did you know what's huge down there is this gas station called the Wawa's, and
Right.
they're supposedly known for their tacos.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just we had some breakfast there, which was pretty popular. There was people just running out. It was insane how busy their food service was. Just it was fucking nuts. I couldn't believe it how crazy it was. It was right up there. And the other thing I did hit, I hit a couple of them. I know Danny's eager to jump at it. Bucky's. The
Yeah.
Bucky's is just to me, it's like a tourist thing. They have decent food. It's a little pricey. They're massive. It was a shit ton of people, and I'll give you this, the bathrooms were clean. Uh, it was just
So, so by tourist attraction, you're saying it's not worth it?
it's pricey. I mean, it's not like a convenient gas station. I'll give you this, what was
Okay.
affordable there was their gas. The food, everything else was pricey. And they had everything you can think of there. They had grills, fishing coolers, and then food and home stuff and like high-end stuff. It was just, I could say I wanted to go. I did it. We seen one. I'll maybe, but it's just right now it's real popular, and I think that's why it's just so nuts. Everybody was getting the chopped brisket
Yeah.
sandwich,
Hmm.
and then we got some. There were guys making tortillas there. They had a machine, the barbecue, they had tenders, they had their candy, their beef jerky, their corn nuts, bucky nuts or whatever.
Right.
It was nuts, dude. It was just freaking nuts. Um, and just to get gas was fucking insane. And they're the biggest gas station you'll ever see in the world. It has to be one of the biggest ones. And there was when I was telling you, Dan, when you get off the expressway, the first one we hit in Kentucky, I'm like, there it is. I'm gonna go for it. There was a line of people to get into the gas station car wise to find gas. And it was like 3 o'clock on
And that's with like 100 pumping stations,
yeah, a
right?
hundred pumps. And I guess man, it was Memorial Day weekend, so I can't expect it. But even on the way back, we hit a Buc-ee's in Georgia, and it was just insane. It was insane the amount of people. I can see why everybody's copycatting it. But I think the food was good for a gas station food. It was good, but it was to me it was pricey. So, but that's all I got. Go on
W-
vacation. Now maybe not in a year or two we'll go back, but we'll do the parks and I'll give my review. It's been like 30 years since I've been there. I
What
think
would you
35.
say? What would you say is the place you recommend people see if they're visiting?
Orlando?
Yeah, like what would you say? Like go to this spot or out of your whole trip, what was the best
The beach.
experience that?
I'm a beach
Okay.
guy. I love water and beaches and oceans and lakes. To me, that's what I do. I saw signs for Cocoa Beach, which was great. We went there. That's what I wanted to do, and we did it. And that's where I recommend it. My goal every time is go on vacation that they have I have two requests. Somewhere where it's beach and there's water or some type of water we can swim in and casino. But unfortunately, we're in Orlando, there was no casinos. So that was my only thing. And
Nice.
then that's what I recommend. That's a good vacation to me. Um, but that's all the time I got. Let's switch it up to Noel here. I see on your notes here you got you beat Bleach Rebirth of Souls on the PS5, not on the streaming platform. What can you tell us about that?
So yeah, Bleach is an anime that I would say I grew up watching it. I was still, I was young, like 17, 18, so still a kid, I guess. Now that I'm older, I feel like 18's a kid. But anyway, I watched the show for since that time period. So since 2006, I've been keeping up with this show. It went on for like a decade, and then it ended, and they brought it back for like this, I guess, final, saga or whatever you want to call it. And anyway, the game Bleach Rebirth of Souls, it's kind of like a recap of the original series that I watched back in the 2000s, like six, seven-ish. That's when it started around there. Um, and the game is really good, man. On PS5, looks phenomenal. The fight scenes, really cool. Like the combat is really great. And it kind of reminded me a bit of like there's a few other fighting games that are like that within anime. So it's like Naruto, like One Piece. There's a few different games that emulate this style. In the American side, probably Guardians of the Galaxy, which I reviewed with you guys a couple months back. Kind of similar too. You kind of build up these attacks and then you use your strong attack at the end, and you kind of just defeat the enemy. If you're good, right? You got to survive it. It's a challenging game at moments, but once you learn the combat, you just fly right through it. And if you ever watch the anime, it's a very interesting story about this kid who seemingly just a random high school kid and maybe like sophomore, junior year. So he's like 16, 17, something like that. And out of nowhere, he starts seeing spirits or, something something supernatural, and he starts exploring it and communicating with it and opening himself up more to it, and he comes across this spirit kid and then this demon that's trying to eat it, and so he's like in awe of what the heck's going on, and out of nowhere this like Japanese old school in a kimono, like old school looking samurai comes out and slashes his demon and kills it. And that's when he gets introduced into the world of the Shinigamis, which are demon slayers essentially. And they also help the dead transfer to the other side. So it's kind of like a death god, that it's literally, I think the translation Shinigami is a death god. So it's like the angel of death coming to help lost souls find their way, and also protecting them from being predated on by these demons. And so anyway, the main character, he over time becomes really powerful, starts to have these abilities that unlock, and it's one of these like teen shows that's like really over the top. Um, it's really cool. It's hard to explain in such a short time period. So, really quick, I'll just say the game is worth playing. If you've ever watched the anime, definitely you're gonna like the game. They've made games throughout the different consoles, PS2, PS3. I think they didn't really do anything on PS4 that I can remember. Um, yeah, nothing. Well, actually, there might have been one, but anyway, the best game I've played so far since the PS2 era would be this one, Rebirth of Souls, because of the story, because of the way it shows you the narrative. It's like essentially you're watching the anime, but then you also fight in it, and so it's like just the best of both worlds. I remember watching the anime and like kind of almost wishing I could, just start fighting myself in it, and so it's like almost like a wish being fulfilled here now that I could watch the anime and play in it. It's really cool.
Mm. Oh yeah, I don't recall this game or what even the gameplay looks like, but you say it looks kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy, and I know that was pretty fun. So yeah, I'm assuming if you're a fan of the anime, should be a pretty good game.
Yeah, no, definitely. It can get a little repetitive at times, but again, the main thing that holds it together is that the story is so freaking good. And if you already watched the anime and you like it, the game is just going to be that much better because you actually get to play in it. But so yeah, that's one game I beat. I would give that one. Probably like a close to an 8, like a 7.8 out of 10. It's not perfect. There's some things that could have been done better, but overall, I'm excited to see if they do another one, especially because I said they brought it back. So this is just keeping up with like the first major part of the show, but there's still more to show. So we'll see if they do another game. Another thing I recently beat, I actually beat this game more recently. This was like I think about a week ago at this point. I beat it with my niece Victoria. It's Power Rangers Rita's Rewind. It's kind of a retro, like a modern retro style game. It's similar to like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time. It's like an action beat 'em up, kind of like Streets of Rage, things like that. So there's a bunch of those in the SNES days, and I grew up loving all those games, and I still enjoy them to this day. I'll replay them here and there. I ended up buying Streets of Rage 4, which is awesome, and I think they're working on another one. So anyway, Rita's Rewind was kind of like the Power Rangers version of that, which I thought was freaking awesome. Um, It's pixelated graphics, so it's very easy to run on almost pretty any modern hardware. Within the last 5, 10 years, you'll probably be able to run this game. The price is a little up there. Thankfully, I got it at a discount. I think I got it for $20 on an Amazon deal. But it typically ranges for like $30. And I don't think it's worth $30. I think it's worth 20 for me specifically because I grew up watching Power Rangers and it's kind of a nostalgic thing for me. So being able to see the Rangers, being able to see the story and a little bit of cutscenes here and there and the voice actors doing their voices, it was kind of nostalgic and just really cool. And being able to show that to my niece who's starting to get into video games. She beat Astrobot with me. She beat Kina with me. So she's getting like the hang of these games now, and she's getting older, so she's able to like do more within the game and like able to actually learn and get better. So it was really cool. I would give the game probably like a 7 out of 10. It's not a perfect game. Again, it's not worth $30. I would say if you get it for 15 to 20, that's worth it. Um, it's not a very long game either, but it is interesting. Rita, if you guys remember Power Rangers at all, this is 30 years ago, right? Rita's this like evil witch who is trying to essentially take over the Earth. She's on the moon. She has her home base on there. At some point in the distant future, she essentially is kind of like Terminator. She like becomes like this android like mechanized version of herself,
Whoa.
and she wants to go back in time and defeat the Power Rangers to like keep them from ever existing essentially. So she goes back in time and she meets her old self that kept losing to the Power Rangers over and over, and she's like, this is how you beat them. So she combines the two of them, fight together against the Rangers, and it's just kind of it's a little cheesy, but a little fun. It's that's what they were going for. You can't take it too seriously. Um, but for again,
This is the
yeah.
game's lore, or is this what actually happened on the TV show?
I haven't kept up with it, so I want to say it's just for the game.
Okay.
But I don't know. I don't know for sure. I stopped watching it so long ago, dude. But they'll fit in stuff here and there. I think I've watched like maybe one or two episodes. I don't know. Before Jason David Frank died, I think he was on a few special episodes, but who knows if this story is lore accurate.
Right.
um, yeah, ultimately, worth $20, I would say $15. Fun game. You unlock, I think, the Green Ranger at the end of the first playthrough. So if you want to play as the Green Ranger, just heads up, you do need to beat it once. You could put it on easy, beat it really quick, unlock the Green Ranger, and then put it on hard if you want that challenge. But yeah, so two games I've
Hey,
beaten.
you name dropped Kina. I saw it's on sale this week for 28. Worth it or wait until it's 20?
Um, that's a good question, man. 28.
It seems a little pricey
It,
for
it
what it is.
is. Yeah, I would say 25. Yeah, I'd be like, all right, yeah, that's worth it.
Yeah, $3.
2025. It's up to you whether it's worth
Heck
it to
yeah.
you.
Heck yeah, $3 is worth it. I know Andy's wife drives anywhere for $3, man. You gotta save them $3.
She don't want to pay a delivery fee. It's $3. She'll go
Oh
drive it
Heck
to pick
yeah,
it up.
man. I'm with your wife, man.
No, it's a fun game, man, and there's a lot of cinematics to it, and it's a really cool game. Um, but yeah, if there's like a Black Friday deal for like 2025, that would be for sure worth it.
Cool.
But yeah, so those are the two games I beat. And I'm still looking for another game to play. I still haven't. Yesterday I was like just testing out a few different games, playing it for like half an hour, and just trying to find which one's gonna draw me in. And I haven't found that one yet. I am blessed to have an abundance here of options, and with that sometimes comes that difficult struggle of choosing which one do I put my time into. Um, Back in the day, man, when we were younger and like no responsibilities, all the time in the world on summer vacation, yeah, you had maybe one or two games in your library so that you just put all your time into that. You didn't really have a choice. But now, we're working, we have money to, disposable income. I have a pretty big library of games, and it's just difficult to find which one do I want to put the next, 20 hours into, which is the average length of a game nowadays. But yeah, we'll figure it out. Last thing to wrap it up here, just a movie I watched recently. Uh, Maybe something you guys have heard of, Project Hail Mary. It's one with Ryan Gosling. It's kind of a disaster mixed sci-fi mixed with like adventure, I guess, kind of movie. Um, have you guys heard of this one?
I have not.
Okay.
This is the one that we have started watching, that one
Right.
Bonfire Day. Yeah,
Yeah.
it seemed interesting. It seemed kind of intense, like resource management, end of the world or some. I don't know what the heck was going on. It was kind of tough to follow the plot.
Yeah, it was a little difficult on that day we were watching the bonfire because the airplanes just they were so many flights going out that day, dude. It was like every 5 minutes there was a plane going over and it's just hard to hear what was going on. That's why I put the subtitles on, but I think even with that, this is a little bit more in depth to kind of follow the whole because it's not realistic, you know what I mean? Like they're essentially trying to travel to another star that's light years away in order to find out why most of the stars in the universe are or in our galaxy are dying. They're being attacked by some kind of a virus or something that's killing these stars, which sounds like already crazy by itself. And then throwing in that you have to send this guy who's not even an astronaut all the way light years away to the star and try to figure out and do experiments to figure out how to cure our star, our sun. It's just like it's wild. It's a super wild movie. Um, but it's highly reviewed, man. Like highly or really highly praised. 8.3 out of 10, 344,000 votes, 77 on Metascore. It seems like it's really widely accepted and appreciated in terms of the story. So I would recommend it for those that are watching, like wanting to watch a popcorn flick, and those that have time on their hands, because this is a little longer one. It's a 2.5 hour movie. It's officially called an adventure epic buddy comedy, dark comedy. And that sums it up pretty good. There's a, I think
Did
when you
did
guys look,
did you watch it after the bonfire, or that's the only watch through you saw?
so actually I watched it before the bonfire because I wanted to
Okay.
make sure it was, worth watching and that there wasn't going to be any like vulgarity and stuff because we have like kids around. So, yeah,
Look
it
at you
was.
being responsible.
I've gotten a little older. I don't know, I guess change a little bit and not be I could be the cool uncle without having to overstep those boundaries, make sure it's good for the kids. But, yeah, so I would recommend this movie in terms of, entertaining value. And if you have kids, this is one of those that I would say not for a toddler, but maybe like, my niece and nephew, who are the younger ones of the family right now, they're 8 and 10. They were able to watch it. It's nothing, crazy. And there's this little cute, like, alien thing. It's like a rock that's an alien that is intelligent and communicates. It's hard to explain. There's not much time left here for my topic here, so I'll just say this: um, it's an entertaining movie. You have 2.5 hours to watch it, and it's one of those that I think it's fun for everyone, even young, like older people will have something that they like about it, and younger people will like the little alien, cute little alien thing. So just about anybody can watch it, which is probably why it's gotten a decent amount of success in terms of the review. But that does wrap things up for me. I'm going to get this over to Daniel. And it looks like you've been watching a couple things on TV. The Crash on Netflix. What is this about?
Yeah, I'm not sure if either one of you have heard about it. I know this hit the mainstream and people were talking about it just because Netflix did release this a couple weeks ago. It's titled, like Noel said, The Crash, and it's pertaining to these teenage kids that got into a car wreck. In particular, it was three of them. The girlfriend was driving the car, and she ended up going over 100 miles per hour and crashed it into a brick wall. Um, And then the whole documentary is based on the relationship between the boyfriend and girlfriend, and then the third person who is just a friend of the couple, and how he was in the car. She survived. The other two guys died, and the whole documentary just goes over the dynamic of the friendships of this group, because there was other friends that were in the group that are on the documentary, and they kind of speak to it. And then the allegations that, she actually was trying to kill the boyfriend, and so she got prosecuted, and the documentary kind of goes into the prosecution's evidence, some of the black box for the car, and how, for example, she never pressed the brake once in this trek of going over 100 miles per hour down this stretch of road, so that they thought that she had intent to try to kill herself and the boyfriend, or just the boyfriend. I'm not sure, but yeah, pretty interesting documentary. I mean, these were like teenagers, like 17 years old. It's in the news right now because she's trying to appeal the court sentencing. And I guess her dad is getting into some shit because he's been doing interviews. And in the interviews, he's been saying some things that are kind of being, I don't know if twisted, but kind of seen in a negative light, and actually hurt him so much that he got put on suspension or fired. I think I just read last week he got fired now from his position because of some of the shit he was saying. So yeah, did you? It doesn't sound like you had heard about it, Noel. Did you hear about this at all, Andy?
Nah, man, this is new to me. I don't so she was in the car flooring it, and then she hit something and the guy died and she lived.
Yeah, so it's three of them. I can't recall what the car was. I want to say it was like a Camry or Toyota Camry or something like that. And yeah, she was going just in a straight run road, 100 miles per hour.
And when she recouped from her injuries, what did she say? That she don't remember, or she's just like,
The documentary does go into that because she claims she blacked out and she does not remember anything other than her driving down that straight path. But there's also some recordings of her from prison where people are saying that's her alluding to, just tell them that I don't remember, or that I had a seizure, or, kind of things like she's trying to,
trying to get an excuse, or
right.
yeah. But it sounds like she might remember, or
That would be in my
your
humble
opinion.
opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, my humble opinion. I think she's lying because she did not want to go under criminal, um, get any kind of criminal, conviction. Because at first, after the accident, they were like, "Oh, it was just an accident." She was free for a month or whatever, how long it took the prosecution to get the evidence, and then finally they just, uh,
They charge
you know,
her
th-
manslaughter, or like homicide, or
I don't recall. I think she has to serve life, but she's up for parole in like 20 or 30 years, something
so
around that neighborhood.
some type of murder or something.
Yeah. So yeah, right now it's in the news just more because she's uh trying to get it churned. But yeah, it was a really interesting kind of showing how young kids in social media nowadays. There was a bunch of like TikTok videos of her smoking weed while she's driving, drinking while she's driving,
It's
and
normal now, dude.
right, like it
If
was
the kids today, like with
like they don't give a
the
shit. They're
smoke,
just,
they just
yeah,
post whatever, like,
right.
and that lives on forever, and they're just like, what's the problem? She's just smoking, like,
So
whatever.
yeah, so the prosecution showed all those videos,
Yeah.
showed videos of them just, doing kid stuff, like stuff. I'm not saying that we did illegal stuff, my group of friends, but we did
I
have
did.
fun. We did have fun. And in
Doing
that,
teenager kid shit, yes.
right, but we didn't record it. So there's no
Yes.
evidence of this thing. So there's so much video from social media and
It,
whatever, they brought that all into the court, and all
it,
these older people, all these people that are like in their 60s, the judge is just like, nah, man, you're guilty. Look at all this shit you're doing.
It's like
So,
if you would have walked in with a camcorder, we would have been like, oh no, I think we don't need a camcorder for this stupid shit we're gonna do right now.
right, right. So yeah, pretty cool documentary. I'm assuming they might do a part two because there's a lot of new stuff that's
How many
coming out.
episodes?
I want to say it's like a three episode, so like 3 hours, 2 hours. It's pretty short. If not, it's like an hour and 40 minutes, like one documentary episode. But really interesting. It just piqued my interest because it was in the news. I watched it, and yeah, man. To me, I think she did it, but who knows? Who knows nowadays? Maybe she did have some kind of medical incident, but I don't believe her. Other thing I want to talk about, Memorial Day parade, man. Memorial Day passed not too long ago, definitely since our last recording. And I went to our local Memorial Day parade. Me and Alana try to go, unless the weather's really shitty. There was 2 years where it was kind of raining, so we decided not to go. This year, the weather was perfect. Everything was beautiful. Sun was out. Nice little breeze. And yeah, we went to the Memorial Day parade. It was awesome, in particular because of the 250, like Andy mentioned for his trip, 250th anniversary of USA. And yeah, man, it was really cool. It was the biggest turnout I've ever seen of our village. It was huge. There was just people everywhere. And that's that me and my wife got there maybe like 15 minutes before the parade was going to start. So we put our lawn chair down and said this is going to be our spot. And we had enough room around us from all the other old people that got there ahead of us. But man, as the day just went on, it was just like a sea of humanity. There was people everywhere, chairs everywhere. Those people sitting around me to where I felt a little claustrophobic because I'm like, man, this is a big crowd of people. But yeah, it was a pretty good turnout. I don't think you're really into it, Noel. I don't think we've ever gone to a Memorial Day parade or Fourth of July parade, Thanksgiving parade, any of that stuff when we were kids. Is this something that you're into, Andy? I don't think we've ever really talked about it. Are you into the parade thing?
Mm, not really. I mean, when I was younger, I was into it. Now I'm older. Like, you know me, I like just being at the house. But what you just said reminded me of something my kid said. There's a lot of people here. When we were at Buc-ee's, he was like just looking around. He's like, Papa, there's a lot of people here. I'm like, yeah, this is a lot. I go, this is nothing. But yes, there's a lot of people, and I think he's as the kids say, he gets a little anxiety when there's a lot of people around. But yeah, he was kind of shocked to see how many people were in that gas station, and uh, and then you went to the parade. I think he'd be cool with it for a little bit, and then he'll be bored. But the other thing I think this year, now that he can communicate better and he speaks a lot more, is firecrackers. There was firecrackers last night. Somebody was throwing firecrackers right in freaking June. And he was like, "What is that?" Like he freaked out because it was a loud one. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "It's firecrackers." And you could see he was kind of like that was scary. I'm like, it's okay, don't worry. But it's gonna be interesting 4th of July when he's gonna be hearing firecrackers more, how that's gonna go. And I'm assuming your town's probably gonna have a 4th of July parade, right?
Yeah, for sure. Usually the 4th of July, I don't know if they have a parade, but they definitely have like their Taste of Chicago thing where the village has their uh, you know, fest or whatever.
Their
So
festival food
yeah,
thing, yeah.
food
The
trucks
carnies come
and the
in, yeah.
carnival, yeah. So it's usually there, and then they have the 4th of July in their like Grant Park area for the village. So yeah, looking forward to that. That one we try to go every year. Met up with a few friends on occasion there that live close by. So that's always a good time. But yeah, the Memorial Day parade, I guess it was just great, man. It was really nice to see a bunch of people wearing a bunch of flag stuff, veterans everywhere. There's a 9/11 memorial that's further down the road. That was pretty cool. But yeah, man, had a good time, enjoyed ourselves out there with the family. Um, a few other quick things, or at least one other quick thing. The Pokemon. Man, Andy, I didn't know these things were still popular, but I
Oh
guess they're
my God, dude.
popping.
Yeah.
They're popping with the kids, and I kind of got roped into one, man. I got roped.
Resellers, dude.
I got roped in into a reseller. Did you ever collect Pokemon cards, Noel?
Oh, of course, man.
No, I
Yeah.
wasn't a Digimon. I remember arguing with the bottom about this as a kid.
Nah, I grew up with both, man. I really
See?
liked yeah, I liked Pokemon definitely when I was younger. But uh, yeah, I grew out of it. Let's just say that. And I still have my original cards, which I think have gone up in value, but I am so out of touch with the new stuff. I have no idea what all that is about.
Yeah, yeah. I usually pick up my meds at the CVS inside of Target. So I'm driving back from work. It's on the way home, and I stop by Target. And as I'm walking up to the door, there's a guy that's waiting outside the door of the Target, and he like jumps out like I'm not exaggerating. He jumps out in front of the door and kind of like stops me. And he's like, "Are you going in to get Pokemons?" And I'm just like, "What? Pokemons?" I'm like, "No, I'm just going in to get some medicine." And he's just like, "Would you mind buying me a box? They're only limiting one per customer, and they have some." He's like, I'll give you $40." He's like, "I'll give you $40 extra." Uh,
What's
on,
that?
on
Wait,
top
what?
of
He was gonna give you $40 just
yeah,
to buy it from?
he's like, "Buy it for me, and I'll give you another $40. Just buy it for me."
Damn.
And then I go to the guy. I'm like, "I don't need your money. If you want me to buy it for you, I'll just buy it for you.
Get a problem.
You just need to pay me whatever, the money for the cards." And he's just like, "Oh, that would be perfect. Yes, man." He's like, "I bought one. I got two sons. They're gonna fight over it, so I need to get my other son a box, and they have some. It just came in. Do you mind buying them?" Now, a little backstory, Andy. As I'm leaving work that day, I had to use the bathroom, but as I was trying to leave, I got stopped like three times. So basically, by the end, I'm like, I gotta get the hell out of here before I got stopped a fourth time. So I didn't even use the bathroom. I had to pee. And so I'm like, I'm out of here. And so I'm driving to Target. And as I'm driving there, I'm like, man, I gotta pee, but I think I can make it to Target. So as I make it to Target and this guy is blocking my way, as I'm trying to help him, I'm thinking like, I gotta use the bathroom, man. I can't delay this shit anymore. So I tell the guy, I'm like, yeah, I'll get it. You don't have to pay me. And we start walking. And he's like, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm like, the only thing is I gotta use the bathroom, man. I gotta pee really bad. And he's like, no, no, man, please just go buy the cards. He's like, buy the cards. He's like, it'll only be 5 minutes. You could buy the cards and then you could go to the bathroom. I'm like, bro, this cannot wait. I gotta
You're
go.
like, you
I'm
ain't
sorry.
paying me, bro.
I'm like, I'm sorry. I gotta go. So I went into the bathroom. I'm peeing, and my bladder's full. So I was literally in there for like maybe like 2, 3 minutes because
Freaking Raytor's
I'm
piss, huh?
I'm like unloading this bag that I got full. I'm washing my hands, and I'm just thinking at this point, 3 minutes, 4 minutes have passed by. He probably accosted some other guy, and now he's not there. No, dude. As soon as I came around the corner from the bathroom, the guy's standing right there. He's like, "All right, you finished? Cool. They still got boxes. Come on, let's go, let's go." And so I walk up to customer service, and yeah, they had like maybe like four more boxes left. And so I go up there, and I'm like, and there's a sign right above the boxes that say limit one per customer. So I go up, and I'm like, "Yeah, do you still have Pokemon boxes for sale?" He's like, "Yeah, we got a few left here." They ring me up. I think it was like $32. Then plus tax, it came out to like 34, $35, something like that. So I pay for it. I get my receipt, I get the box, and I walk over to like by the Starbucks, kind of
Yeah.
by the door, and he's standing there. He's like, "You got it?" And I'm like, "Yes." He's like, "Oh, great, great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much." He's like, "How much was it?" And when he told me that, one of my flags went up. I'm like, "You just bought one, you said. How can you not know how much it is?" So, anyways, I tell him it's $34. He's like, "Oh, okay, okay. I'll give you $40." He goes, "I'll give you $40." And by this point, that flag went up and I kind of had like a weird feeling. And I'm just like, let me just finish this situation so I can get the hell out of here. I'm like, all right, $40, fine. Even though I wasn't going to take any of his money, I didn't want it. So he starts going to not Zelle. What's the other one? The other
Zelle,
popular
Venmo,
Venmo. So
yeah.
he's like, do you take Venmo? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, yeah, I think so. So he starts going through Venmo. He types in my phone number. He types in $40, and then he gets an error, some kind of error trying to give me
It's
the money.
bullshit, dude.
And he's just like, "What? $40 is not enough? I got to give you more?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I don't use this app." So he's trying to show it to me, like like for me to do some IT tech shit on him. And I'm like, "I don't know." And he's like, "Oh, it's saying what is it for? Not put more. What is it for?" So he puts Pokemon, and then I don't know, something happened where he's like, "Let me start all over." So then he starts all over, and then he types it in. He's like, "How much was it? $38?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, $38, man." So he goes, $38, and then Pokemon, and he's like, "No, hold on." So that he does something again. He like almost starts over or deletes something. He's like, you said it was 34, right? And I'm like, yeah, 34, man. So he puts 34, and I'm just thinking in the back of my head, I'm like, pretty soon he's gonna give me even less of what this thing is worth, and I'm gonna end up paying something like $10 or something for this. Needless to say, he just paid me my $34. I checked my app to make sure I had the money. I did have the money, so I gave him the box. I went to get my medicine. The story's going on a little long. I'll jump into the article in a second. As I'm walking out with my medicine, there's him and some other guy standing by a car door as I'm walking up, crossing the street at Target. And they're just like, bro, I got like four of them. And they're like high-fiving each other. And then another teenage kid came out of the doors, like racing by me. And he's like, bro, I just got a lady to buy me another one. He's like, how many do you got? He's like, oh, I got three. Oh, man, they're just about to reload the one at Toys R Us or wherever the hell they were talking about. And I was just like, this whole shit's a scam. It's all resellers. They're just trying to get
Resellers.
more.
It's
Yeah.
there's fights and shit about it. When they popped in the vending machines, just to wrap it
Yeah.
up, there
Yeah.
there was fights and shit. Now it's just like it's really popular. I seen TikToks and shorts about people grading them, and then at shows and getting fights over it. It's crazy. From I don't even know how old this thing is, like 20 plus years now. It's still how strong it is now to this day.
I think it's because of the rarity, right, Noel?
Um, it used to be, but I don't know at this point, man. It's kind of crazy, dude.
Yeah,
Nintendo's making a killing, though. I'll tell you that.
it was an article. I think I last this week I saw that Pokemon has printed for the cards. They've printed over 10 billion cards. So the rarity, or I don't know what they're doing, but I just know people are it's just super popular. It's a thing again, and it's been a thing for a couple of years, and people are grading them now, and it's just going. It's insane. And I've seen people get into fight. There's a ton of video of people fighting for them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, actually, Target, they just so there was like a something on social media where this manager at Target starting slashing the boxes. That way, it's not like in mint condition or whatever, so that the resellers can't sell it. So it's like,
Really?
yeah, they're trying to do whatever they can. It's kind of like the scalper situation, you know. Eh, I don't know if you heard about the
Yeah.
Steam controller went out of stock like almost immediately because scalpers. It's the same situation, man. It's just there's a lot of parasites out there, man.
It is terrible because the kids who want to play this game, for trading and actually fighting or whatever they do, they can't even get it because there's all these like vultures trying to get it to make a profit. It is so crazy. But yeah, I Googled that box just to see how much it would be, like if I sold it on eBay, and it was going for over $100 on eBay.
You
So I
take it
could
to
have,
40, man.
well, I wasn't doing it for the money. I mean, the guy told me he's like, it's for my kid. So he like hit
Oh
my string
shit.
as a parent. I'm like, all right, I'll hook up your kid. I'll buy you another box. So that's what I was doing. It's bad on him for faking me out, but it doesn't really matter.
I would have hit
Uh,
him up for a tumbler from Starbucks for my wife or something. Like, I would like this. My wife likes this, and it's like $50, and be like,
nah,
okay.
Nah, I
You
was just
got
trying
him.
to.
He came to you. You didn't go to him. So, but
Right.
that's my 2 cents.
I was trying to help him. I was trying to be a good Christian there, Andy, man. But whatever, man. Uh, let's jump into our article week, which also speaks about money, Andy. All right, Andy. I'm not going to go over too much of the article. We're just going to jump into some conversation. But the article's from Business Insider. Ended up finding this with the new news of the Steam. What the hell do they call that Steam thing?
Steam Deck.
Steam Deck jumping up in price. But the article is price hikes are making games feel like a luxury hobby. The article kind of goes into some details of some price jumps from other consoles and price some of it's going up. Some of them is theorized to the RAM. Some of it is just the price of labor, tariffs, and etc. Let me just throw out some quick numbers and then we could jump into some talk. PS5, the digital console, launched at $400. It's been out in the market for about 5 years now. Now it's $600. So it went up 200 bucks since the launch, which is unheard of. You would think it would go the other way, that by this time, 5 years, it would have dropped 50, 100, maybe even 200 bucks. But no, instead it went up 200. Xbox is not immune to this. The Xbox Series X started at 500, now it's 650. Uh, the Steam Deck, the 1 terabyte started at 650. Now it's 950. So all of these consoles are going up. Gaming prices just recently went up from 60 bucks to 70 bucks per game. And they're talking about possibly another increase in gaming. Um, I wanted to pick up a Pro. Usually for the PlayStation 4, I bought the base model when the Pro came out like 3 years after. I usually waited like a year or two for the Pro to get their first discount, and that's usually when I bought it. This one, I was doing the same thing. I bought the base PS5. The Pro came out. I was going to wait until they got their first discount, then buy it. Did not happen. Actually, it got more expensive to the fact that I'm just like, I'm probably not even going to buy it now because the Pro right now is $900. And I'm like, I'm not paying $900 for a console. So, yeah, let's open it up. Andy, I know you're not too much into gaming, but you talked about it on your vacation. Everything is expensive. Did you see this coming where we would have consoles that don't get cheaper as time goes by and it gets more
Nah,
expensive?
I noticed. I mean, I do watch videos. I do notice a lot of people in the mom and pop stores. They do buy a lot of retro consoles like 64s, even 360s, um, PlayStation 2s and even 3s. They're between like 80 to 100 bucks and they buy those and then I think the games are cheaper. It's like a big trend I'm seeing, and I'm thinking they're probably doing that because the new consoles are so expensive, the games are expensive, there's subscriptions to get online. It's just the console, the hardware used to be more affordable. That's expensive, and then they tell you to get the digital, and that's expensive, and then you got to pay to get online. I do see that trend. And I do see a lot of people unloading. The only newer console that I saw was the Switch. I don't know if it's the new one or the generation before. A lot of people looking for Switches, and they were usually between 200 to 300. I don't know if that sounds right, even for the new one, because the new one's what, six, I think, right? The
I
Nintendo Switch 2.
I know it's the newest and just came out, so I would assume so. I'm not really sure their
Yeah,
price.
The
and people
Switch
are,
2 is at 449,
yeah.
going up to 500 in September. And then if you get the bundle, I think it's like an extra 60 or 80 bucks.
So yeah, like I said, the videos I watch, but and usually that guy gives you a free game, like a $10 game or something. But I know everything gaming, it's just, and then I think the article also alluded about an $80 game. Like when's like that's the new thing, and even the greatest hits or whatever, the ones that sell a ton. I mean, they're going to get pricey. And like the other thing I noticed in gaming now, and the article kind of talked about that, they do focus hard on the companies on new on IPs that have been successful, right? Call of Duty, GTA, and Madden football.
Sequels for
This,
games.
yeah, and then that's all they care about. They don't care about even just basic affordable games. They put all their money in that because I guess they're losing money on everything else, or they're barely breaking even, and that is why they put so much the yearly thing around the fall where Christmas time where they release all these massive new games, and they're not getting. Then they have different versions of all the standard deluxe premium and all this other crap.
Yeah, I don't know what your thoughts are, Noel. I know that you bought some of these consoles during launch. Is it crazy to believe that your consoles are more expensive now, even though you bought them at launch?
Ah, man, it's wild times we're living in right now. I did not foresee it going up that much. But once they announced tariffs, I knew things were not going to be good, for consumers at least. For businesses, ever since COVID, they've been just sailing. It's like sailing the seven seas, Magellan, just exploring money, and it's just been easy for all of them. But for us, the middle class, the workers, nah, not so much, man. It's been rough, and the PC era or the PC area, like the sector of PC, is even more expensive. You're
Hmm.
talking about $3,000, $4,000 to build a gaming PC. It's just insane right now. And the topic or the headline, it makes sense, man. It is a luxury hobby now, officially, I would say. With these prices, like why wouldn't it be? It's definitely not something you need, but I think the best that we could do right now is vote with our wallet and just not buy them. Not buy these games at launch, not buy these consoles. When PS6 comes out, hold off. Everybody should hold off. Make them lower the price because you already know the PS6 is gonna come out like at a grand, you know.
It, to
Yeah,
me,
that's what they're. Go ahead.
the industry I feel is just focused on that hardcore gamer, and they're appealing to that market because they know they're going to get money out of those people. And the casual gamer who has the phone and tablets, I think the they're going to do that instead of buying a console. They're not going to be like, oh, this is cool. Doesn't have that mass appeal that it once had. It's just, uh, I think they're just focusing. That's why they have so many versions of all these of games that are coming out, and even the consoles. Um, and I think they're appealing more to that hardcore gamer market, and I think because they know they're the ones that are going to spend, and to appeal to other people, it takes time and more money and more. They're like, we could maybe win a couple people, but realistically, how much money can we make off of them? Let's go what we know who's going to buy it.
No, for sure. And I think the article that's their main theme is that since it's becoming more of a luxury item, how likely is Andy, the dad, going to buy a Switch 2 for his son, knowing that it's a luxury item and might hold off because you're like, I'm not spending, four, $600, whatever the Switch 2 was that Noel mentioned. But yeah, it's becoming so much so that I don't know if I'm going to jump into PS6 right away, like Noel mentioned. I might hold off. I mean, I was just talking about earlier in the episode that Kina game for $27, and I'm like, is 27 still too much? Should I wait until it's a little cheaper? Because yeah, I don't buy new games almost at all. I can't recall when was the last time I was just like, this game came out today, I want it, I'm buying it. I usually wait until they're like 20, $30 max, and that's how I buy them. So I'm already trying to buy them half price or cheaper. Consoles, I would usually buy them at launch, but yeah, I don't think Noel's too far off from the next gen consoles being $1,000 launch, and that's a lot of money, man. I could do stuff around the house that I need better for $1,000 bucks. So yeah, being a little older and a homeowner, that's a tough pill to swallow, spending $1,000 for sure.
That's
So
when
I
you're
don't
gonna
know.
dust out your older consoles.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I still have quite a few of my older consoles. I still got my PS1, the Nintendo 64, the Super Nintendo. So I still got quite a few of old gen consoles, my PlayStation 3. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know how it's gonna be. I definitely think that the next gen, if the trend keeps going, I might have to wait until there's a discount or some kind of bundle or something to entice me to jump in. But it's gonna be very tough. I know, Noel, you just built your PC rig. How much do you think that PC rig would have cost now if you would have built it today instead of a year or two ago?
I would say close to double, man. Yeah, because the video card that I bought it for, let's say, about 1,000, and then with tax like 1,100, right?
Right,
I think now it would probably go for 16, 17, 1,800,
right.
somewhere in that range. The RAM that I bought for, I don't know how much it was at the time, I don't know, 80, $100. Now it's going for like $400. That's just two items already up so much money, dude. So the whole thing together, man, I think it would probably cost three, $4,000. Um, now I got fortunate, man, because I kind of saw the writing on the wall when they started mentioning tariffs. I'm like, let me get this ASAP, and that's why I was like so locked in to getting it. I signed up for apps to give you like notifications when the sales are on, when things are going. I made sure I even went to the freaking micro center, which is not close by. I had to drive like an hour, take like an hour off of work to show up, almost like that Pokemon guy, just like desperate to get this freaking thing.
Right.
And I made it happen, and I'm grateful because I'm set, man. I think this is probably gonna be the last PC I build, dude. Because if it's going in this direction, let's say I build another PC in 5 years, I'm not spending $8,000 on a PC. And if that's the direction we're going, and it's like this is it, you know?
Yeah, for sure. No, I feel that way, man. I know Junior's PC, we bought it during Christmas or a little bit before Christmas. I think it was like during Black Friday. And if you go get that PC now, the exact same one, it's already like $400 or $500 more expensive. They jacked up the price already. So yeah, it's totally crazy. It's nuts. And what's weird is that a lot of the tariffs got removed. So I don't quite understand why these prices are still elevated. It's kind of like the saying, once the price goes up, they're never going to drop it
It's never gonna
down.
go down.
Yeah, with inflation and with tariffs, if they got the industry and the customers, if you got used to paying $8 for a Big Mac meal, they're not going to drop it back down to $5 if it got cheaper. They're just going to
That
keep it $8.
that price point, yeah, like you said, the like restaurants price point forever was $5. Now
Hmm.
it's like 6 and 7. They're giving you these like, oh, you get these options between 6 and 7, but and it's less food than you would have before that. And like, yeah, it just everybody has a price point in their head, and like you guys are talking about it, like thousands of dollars for this, and this is just a hobby. Like now you're thinking about like, what am I doing here? Because I could. There's other things that need to get done, and at this point, what am I doing here? Unfortunately, that's a lot of things that's going on right now, and the price is never going to go down. If we're lucky, it just stays the same, and inflation gets somewhat under control.
Yeah, for sure, man. Scary times.
It for sure is, man. It's just it's a bigger issue that not many people people are becoming aware now that haven't been aware for so long, and it's the middle class getting shafted yet again. Um, this is just the typical way it goes. These, for example, Nvidia, they make their money based on AI and all the other stuff they sell to another sector of the market. So they don't need our consumer money. They make, I don't know, 10% of their actual revenue comes from us, like the average consumer.
Hmm.
So they could like just price up whatever. Oh, you don't want to buy it? All right. Well, we're still making our money over here. No big deal. So I think that is unfortunately possibly a trend that's going to happen to other areas, not just the PC space. It's already happening in consoles. It could already happen with food and all other stuff. We're going to get priced out, man. Farmers are getting bought out. It's challenging times for sure, but with challenging times come hopefully strong people. So we got to get strong and start, wising up. And who knows, man? I've heard that the solution to this is for people to open up their own economy, the people's economy, the middle class, open up their own businesses, start, supporting each other and kind of give, you know, these companies the shaft, like get the hell out of here, out of our way, So we'll see how all of it plays out, but and I'm hopeful that we'll come together and find a way through this tough time. But yeah, that does wrap things up for today, everybody. We want to thank you all for listening and for joining us here for another episode. Thank you for joining us for the Freeform Network. If you're not already signed up, please follow us on X at FFR Podcast. If you have any questions or suggestions for topics, just send us an email at ffnquestions@gmail.com. From Freeform Radio, my name is Noel, and we have Daniel.
Yes, sir, man. I'm starving. I bought some of those street tacos from Costco. I'll let you guys know how they were, man.
Oh, for sure. And we got Andy.
It's all good, Andy. I want to thank you guys for joining us. And, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully this inflation gets better and our money's worth more.
I agree, man. Hopefully. Well, everybody, we wish you a great night and a beautiful tomorrow.
That was cool, Dad.